Hey everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. Today we are going to do a little bit of a healthier take on spaghetti and meat sauce. We're going to be playing with spaghetti squash. This is one of my favorite meals because it's good for you, it tastes great, and it's also easy to make. Takes a little bit of some time, but I'll show you how I make my spaghetti squash and meat sauce. The first thing that you want to do is cut this big giant squash in half. It is a little hard, so be very, very careful. You can use a serrated knife, you can use a chef's knife. Today, I'm using the chef's knife. So you'll see me kind of struggle to get this cut in half, but I'm going to try to be as careful as possible so we don't cut ourselves. Now that this is opened, the next thing we want to do is scoop out all the seeds so that way we can roast it. With the spaghetti squash seeds, you can roast them, you can use them for other applications, snack on them, but today, not really going to do anything with them because I didn't get a whole lot of seeds. There's more than this, obviously, but I'm just going to throw them into my compost, maybe my garden, grow some spaghetti squash. That's always pretty cool, but that is totally up to you on how you want to use these. All right, the next step that I like to do is I get some good long pieces of foil so that way I can wrap everything up. What we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of some oil in here. We're going to season this all up. And you all know my lovely special secret ingredient blend. Salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder. Love it. So we're going to season and oil it all up. The oil is going to help it steam. And of course the seasoning is going to seep into the vegetable. And now we wrap it all up. If you want to add butter to that, you definitely could, but we're doing a healthier version on spaghetti and meat sauce, so today we're not going to do that. Next step, we're going to pop this in the oven at 400 degrees for about an hour. It doesn't always have to go that long if you have a smaller squash, but in this case, we're going to start with about an hour and see what happens from there. And I'll show you how to check for it in about an hour. Now while our spaghetti squash is in the oven, we're going to cook off a little bit of some turkey. We're going to add mushrooms and onions and garlic and basically get it all ready for a delicious meat sauce. So after about an hour, this is where we're at. It's slowly starting to pull away, but not quite where I want it just yet. I want it to be a little bit easier to pull apart. So we're gonna wrap it all back up and let it continue to steam for another 30 minutes. And we'll see. All right, it's been an hour and 45 minutes. This is what you want right there. Do you see how easily that just kind of comes off? All that liquid right there also is just from the oil, some of the steam. That's exactly what you want. What we're going to do next is we're going to just kind of scrape it all out, let it cool down. We're going to throw this into our pot with all of our meat and vegetables and sauce and go from there. Next step is to get all of this into our pot. Whoops, just don't make a mess. The next step for us is to mix this all up. You got your turkey, your squash, all your vegetables, your stewed tomatoes. You just want to be careful with everything so you don't splash up. Now the stewed tomatoes are going to help the sauce start, but they're still going to be a little thin. So what I like to do is I'll throw in a little bit of some cream cheese, maybe some low-fat mozzarella, and that'll actually help thicken it up. Now that you can see that we've added a little cream cheese in, I'm going to get a couple of handfuls and throw our mozzarella in there as well. We'll stir that all up put it back into our squash, and throw that back in the oven for a little bit. One of the things I really enjoy doing is keeping these as a bowl. That way you can stuff it and bake it off a little bit further. I guess this would be a good time to get just a little more cheese on top so we can let that melt all over the top. Back into the oven we go. In the oven we had our broil setting on. You're starting to get a little bit of that golden brown color around the edges of your cheese. That's exactly what you want. The next step is to plate it all up. All we got left to do, plate everything up. We've got everything ready to go. You could throw some green onions on there, but I think we're ready to go. Fortunately for us, we've got friends coming over tonight. This is why we're making a big amount of food. You don't need to normally use this, but I figured since we have such a big squash, we'd invite some people over, get a good filling. This will definitely feed 3-4 people very, very easily. That's not including, actually you don't even need any sides, you know? Don't tell anyone we did this, but we gotta try this. Seasoned, great. Don't have to add anything else. I really like this. Again, this is one of my favorite meals. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you learned a thing or two. Make sure that you follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Chef Stegon's on Instagram, Chef Steven Gonzalez on Facebook. Go to chefstevengonzalez.com. Make sure that you get a copy of my cookbook. Get your grub on. And hit that like and subscribe button somewhere around here. Thank you very much. Catch you next time.